Can you move over?
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is May 11th, Monday evening, and we are live here in the studio, and we're back with Sports Call. And I know we haven't been with you for a while, so I want to welcome you back and welcome us back. And I'm here with one of BCAT's legends. 500 years ago. No, it's 20 years, Paul?
20 years.
So for past 20 years, Paul Strati, along with Dan Brothers, have announced the football games.
Football game.
Yeah, and so you guys were thusly honored at
Yes, we were at
the
the
BCAT red carpet
Yeah.
event.
It was a surprise. It was very nice.
Yeah,
A nice slideshow for us, and after 20 years, it was pretty good.
yeah, especially those slideshows of the spring training when you were down there and you didn't know anyone was taking a picture. Those must have been very entertaining. But
I actually had hair and a mustache, too.
wow, I remember your mustache.
So it was a long time ago.
Long time. So anyways, congratulations
Thank
to you
you.
and Mr. Brothers
Yeah, thank you.
for your Lifetime Achievement Award. And for those people who didn't know, BCAT did have the red carpet event this past week. It was really extraordinary. Nice food, nice company.
It was a good
Really
time.
nice honor that for our local cable company here, our
It's a nice
Product
job.
and Cable Access, they do a great job with these things. So anyways, with us this evening, ladies and gentlemen, back from their worldwide tour or nationwide tour are three representatives from our first team, 2876 DevilBotz. And I'm going to start with my near right and introduce Xavier Little, co-president, and there was something else to the...
Build lead.
And Bill lead.
Yeah.
We have Joey Prendergast, mechanical lead, and Jerry Pothier III, mentor, but he's also starring in the mechanical engineering program at Wentworth. And gentlemen, welcome to Sports Call.
Thanks for having us.
Now I think we've had, I don't know if we've had exactly you guys or,
Remember Jerry? Jerry was here.
Just about 5 years ago.
was it 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, when you first broke into the big time.
The first time we had more than 10 people in the club.
Yeah,
The show kind of catapulted you guys into...
it did. If it wasn't for Sports
If it
Call,
wasn't for us,
Catapulted
I
Jerry
know.
singing.
where would they be now?
Well,
They'd be performing
the
at
team.
Faneuil Hall, doing stuff, yeah. Yeah, great. All right, so guys, tell us about this year. This has been a big year for you, so tell us what's happened.
Yeah, it's been a really big year. This is me and Joey's last year because we were seniors, and I've been doing robotics for 4 years, and
Yeah, I think this is my third year.
yeah, and so this year we attended our initial 2 competitions. So each robotic season that they do now, you get to attend 2 competitions, and then from there you score points, and you get to see if you qualify to go to a larger competition.
So I think the first 2 we go to are district events. So our district is New England. So all around they have, I think usually about the first 3 or 4 weeks they have the district competitions, and you were required to go to at least 2 of them. So I think we went to Nashua and Reading
Yep.
this year.
Yeah.
And then after that, at each competition you get a certain amount of qualifier points, and the better you do in the competition, the more you get, and then the more qualifying points you get, the further you can move on in the competition.
Yeah. So we qualified. We had enough points to actually go to the next event, which was the district championships, which was held at WPI.
So it's still New England.
Yeah, this is still the New England. So that was the New England Championships.
Okay.
Where it was held at WPI, which is very exciting. But we'd actually, before going there, one of the things that helped us get there was we won an award, the Quality Award at our Reading. Nashua event. Yeah. At our Nashua event, and that was for a team that showed
robot design.
It was robust.
Robustness in design and fabrication.
Yeah, as well as being a team that just sort of stood out and was an example to other teams in the competition.
Quality example.
Pretty impressive,
Yeah,
huh?
quality example. So that was very exciting. It was the first time the team had won an award since he was on the team. So after our WPI event, they did it very similar to the district events where you got qualifying points.
Wait, tell us what you actually had to do. What did you have to make the robot
Yeah,
do?
that's what I was
Oh,
gonna
the
ask you.
competition this
Yeah,
year.
what was it
There's
really?
certain
Yeah.
criteria that you have to meet, or
Yeah.
certain
Yeah, so-
fundamentals.
Each year they have kind of general specifications, like you can't have the robot over usually about like 6 feet tall, has to be under 120 pounds, and then there's like length and width
Those
requirements.
the length and width have varied over the past couple of years. But,
So-
Okay, and you have to make its voice strange so it doesn't seem too human?
Yeah.
no,
I saw that in Star Trek.
I think you get you get disqualified if it like makes sounds or has like parts that aren't supposed to be on or something. You can't have
Yeah.
lasers or anything on it, which is
You can't have a little dome?
no, which is kind of unfortunate. But so this year the competition's what our season, as you could call it. So this is starts in January, on the first Saturday of January, where they issue us our competition, the challenge, I should say.
And then each year we don't know what it is up until that point. No one in the world knows what it is up until that point, and at that day, then we have 6 weeks to complete a robot.
Who are these people that they put these kind of things together and force
No
you to
one
do
knows.
this stuff? Yeah.
The man,
they
behind,
come from
the man
Earth?
behind the curtain.
And it really,
So
It's part of the first game design. First is the organization founded by Dean Kamen. He invented the Segway and the pace. He also worked on the pacemaker.
jeez.
So,
I've driven a Segway.
Yes.
I want to meet him.
we have
We
we
did.
have
We
we
have,
have
actually.
a
Did
couple,
you?
yeah, we
Yeah.
have a picture with Dean
Oh, no
Kamen,
kidding, look at
which
that.
is really kind of cool. So anyway, this year's challenge
Recycle Rush.
was called Recycle Rush, and
Okay.
the goal of it was to stack containers on top of totes. So like you just see like recycling containers, sort of similar, but they had lids. And the robots had to stack those on top of each other up to 6 totes high, and then you could put a container on top with a pool noodle inside of the plastic
A
recycling
pool
container.
noodle? Oh, one of
Yeah.
those noodle
Yeah.
things. Okay.
So all the teams had to do this?
Yeah, yeah.
So you come out with a set of ground rules that everybody has to adhere to?
Yeah, so they just say basically what the challenge is, and they say, all right, build a robot to do that. So you get robots that are all sorts of shapes and sizes and different levels of complexity. And
And then there's usually multiple different like parts to each competition. Like to score different points, there are many different things. This year we could do stack the small rectangular like box totes, and then to score even more, we put like trash bins almost on top of that. And then with pool noodles, you can either put them in the trash can or throw them across the field to score points.
So I'm assuming there is this like environment, like
It's a playing
like an
field.
arena kind of, a
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
It's a
arena.
playing field.
Here's your robot, and there's all these different things, and you have to get your robot to take these things and pile one on top of the other, and the more you can do,
Yeah.
the higher the points you get.
yeah,
Yeah.
so essentially, and it's a 50-foot by
56 by 24.
yeah, so it's a little
Okay.
smaller than a football or a basketball field, or a basketball court. And actually, at WPI, we were on a basketball court. That was what the thing was set up, and it's the field is split into 2 zones. So you have what's called the Red Alliance and the Blue Alliance. So you have, and each alliance has 3 robots on it. So it's actually you have 3 teams working on one team to try and score as many points as you can.
And then each can match around. Every time you're going to be with different teams. So one round you could be on the Blue Alliance with one team, and then the next time you can be against them, and then with them again. So it constantly changes, and you have to be able to work with whoever you're put with.
Boy, there's no value in loyalty here. I can
Yeah.
see that.
Well, it's called gracious professionalism.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, this is
It's
Sure.
play nicely with your neighbor, but understand that your next match could be against them. And each team sends 4 representatives to their alliance, so there's a total of 12 people. And Joey was actually the human player. So there's 3 human players on each alliance, and they interact. They don't actually get to go on the field, but they interact with the robots.
Yeah. So we have 4 different positions on each drive team. There's the actual driver, who was Xavier this
So
year.
that's the person who's working the control.
Yes.
Kind of like
Yeah.
the quarterback.
And we use an Xbox controller to control our robot.
Oh,
So
but you couldn't have lasers though.
no lasers. No.
Oh, that's too bad. I understand, but it would have made it a lot more interesting.
We wanted to, but so we have the driver, we have the human player, which was me this year, who
So what do you
puts
do?
things up.
Right.
So this year we had those like totes which we would stack, and then we had some of them on the field and some of them off the field. And this time what I would do is I would take those, and we had like kind of a little chute, which we'd have a door and a ramp. We'd have to open that and slide them down through into our robot, and then put those onto the field. And then also I could take the pool noodles we had, and if I took them, threw them across the midway point of the field, and it landed on the other side, then we would score points that way.
So if you threw a pool noodle far enough to get to the other side of the court,
Yeah.
that's almost like football. I guess you could call
I
it
think
noodle ball.
it was more like throwing a javelin, if anything else. And there was really like a technique to it, and there was some people on the field who were like tossing these things whole way
Did
across.
you practice? Did you go to people's pools and practice for a while?
We were given one at the beginning of the competition. So, they call it kickoff. It's the first Saturday of January is when they announce a thing, and we have a few people on each team they have specific locations all around the country and the world where they're where they have a few people per team gathering, and then they give you
all the materials.
a few field elements, and then the materials, a small selection of materials for your robot itself.
Yeah. So we got the pool noodles, and we would just throw them in the lower library of the school. Because it's just long enough to
just
do it.
standard noodles and nothing special about them.
They put tape around them, but they were just
Special
basic.
weight or
Yeah.
anything.
No.
So all the elements.
Standard noodle.
Yeah.
There's something very strange. Yeah.
So all the elements that we were playing with on the field were like things that you would see on a normal day-to-day basis. So these totes we've used in the shop for years to hold things, and the recycling container was like a regular recycling container, and it's kind of cool to be able to make something as sort of like fun for a competition, but actually sort of could have a real world application, which is kind of cool.
All right. So then we have the driver, we have you who's throwing the javelin, and we have two other people?
We have the co-pilot who works closely with the driver. He's kind of surveying the field. The driver is just looking at the robot, like, all right, I need to move here. The co-pilot kind of looks around and sees where other robots are coming and what
relays all the information that me as a driver or whoever else the driver is might not be able to see.
So like a backseat driver.
So yeah,
Similar. Watch out for that wall!
Yeah, and some teams have very elaborate control systems because their robots have so many different functions that it actually takes two people to drive a single robot, which is kind of cool. And I think in years past we've done that. We've had one person working on actually just moving the robot, and the other person controlled whatever.
So pilot and co-pilot.
Yeah, and so our last position on our drive team was the alliance captain, and their job was to sort of communicate with the other alliance members on our team. To figure out whatever the best strategy would be to get the most points, or if something went wrong in the field, to be able to relay that information from me, the driver, to the other teammates. So our robot's broken, you got to go around, or you got to use the other feeding station or pick up them from the middle, and so they would relay that information.
I need to stop us because we're time for our first break. This is pretty fascinating. I'm trying to actually understand it, but it's very interesting. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to do some PSAs. Now we'll be right back. Please join us. We're here with the robotics team from Burlington High School that just came back from national competition. We'll be back in just a minute. Well, we're back again. I guess maybe they weren't ready. They were ready.
Can we get the...
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Where have you been?
I lost my cat.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah, so I made this cat magnet to try and get him back.
Cool. Does it work?
Kinda.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's not my cat. Gotta keep working on it. See ya.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
Okay, girls, at 3 o'clock.
What is he looking at?
Oh, it's so obvious. Captain Obvious has scored again. Open your window, say something.
Oh, he's really gonna down.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
not get that. Oh, it must be careful. Well, that's a nice picture.
Come on, Anna.
Okay.
Foreclosure doesn't affect just you. It affects your whole family, too. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for real help and guidance, because nothing is worse than doing nothing.
And we are back with second quarter action here with our robotics team, our national robotics team. Just so people really understand, I mean, you guys made it all the way, where was it, Texas?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you competed against the best teams in the country.
The world.
The world?
The world,
This
yeah.
really was an international competition.
Yeah. So there were teams.
Was
from,
Cuba there?
I don't know if Cuba was there, but there was
I was just
teams
wondering.
from China and Canada and London and Israel,
Taiwan,
Mexico,
Yeah.
all over the place.
Sri Lanka? Maybe not Sri Lanka.
I don't know. Maybe not some of the smaller.
Well, you never can tell, you know.
There's a few Norwegians.
And there's about like 600 teams?
609 teams competing. Yeah.
How'd you guys do?
Well, we didn't do as well as. We did okay. It was more about the experience, which is why we went, because we had never gone. We never competed at this level. Yeah.
We never competed at world level. Never mind the district championship level.
Right. So I'm just curious. The people who won it, who are like the best in the world. I mean, did you get to see what they did and talk to them and really kind of learn from, what that actually means?
Yes. I mean, the really cool thing that I find about the first competition is that everyone is very open with like what they do, and they're looking to share that knowledge with everyone.
Oh, that's excellent.
So when they have what's called the pits, where all the robots and all the teams sit and are just waiting to go around.
Between matches, if you need to fix something, you have all your tools there. The robots that's there, you'll probably have just a few people there.
And a lot of the teams will have usually have like presentations, or they'll have slideshows or poster boards with detailed CAD drawings, which is computer-aided design. So 3D models of their robots and how they designed it. And then if you ask them like what a part does, they'll walk you through the robot and share tools. So if you need tools or parts, everyone is super willing to give you a tool or give you a part or offer their experience and assistance in helping a robot.
Well,
so it's kind of interesting, actually. Last year, the year before that, so our sophomore year, the competition was shooting frisbees. So we were actually launching frisbees out of a robot, and
so that the 4th of July parade.
So we've toured that one around a lot, because that's one of our better robots. And
it's just kind of a nice fun thing to show, like, this is what we do, and have people kind of interact with it.
Yeah.
And so the second part of that competition was to climb this sort of 9-foot pyramid in the middle of the field with your robot, and a bunch of robots actually fell off of it and hit the ground, and everyone would run over to their pits and be like, can we help you with anything? Do you need anything? So it's just kind of interesting, like the interaction between the teams is very...
So it's not cutthroat.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's a competition, but everyone is really there to sort of help and support everybody and
these
learn
are all
everything.
High school students from all of those, same ages?
Grades 9 through 12.
Yeah.
Were you the only guys that came out of New England, or was there a bunch of teams?
There were a bunch of teams from New England,
Yeah.
There was maybe like 30 or so teams that came out of New England.
Because we're wicked smart.
Yeah.
We got some smart stuff. Yeah. All right, so I think so. You gave us the 4 things, and you got some parts or some props.
Yeah.
That's for you.
All right, so can you see this? Is this coming up on camera?
Bring the container up here.
We can't see the monitor at all, so we don't know if this is coming up.
We got the pool noodle. Here, stick it. If you stick it in the front, they'll be able to see.
So
Move your
Move it a little
camera
move it a little
this
over
way.
for.
Yeah, I can't really move.
Or move the monitor?
past the desk.
All right, so we're trying to make sure the parts. All right, so
So
there's, you can't see,
we
but the
have
top of this
over
trash
here.
can, you can fit the noodle in.
Yeah. So we go like that, and over here on the, I think it's gonna be left for you guys, is the these gray totes. So we would take those and stack them up to
Other way around.
Other way around. But
The container goes on top of the
We would
tote.
stack the gray totes up to about 6 high, and then take those green containers, put them on top, and then have one of these noodles in on top of that.
So you have to have a robot that has a pretty long reach then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there were a few different ways that people had gone about doing that. And the way we had done it is we had kind of these 2 little arms, almost like forklifts, with hinged flaps. So it would take and hook up underneath the lip of this and just move up and down on the bottom. Take that, move it up. We would slide another one underneath, go down, pick that bottom one up. So we'd make a stack of 5 or 6 high if we needed to.
Yeah.
And we'd only have to move up about a foot or 2.
Now, do we have a picture of the robot? At least a picture of the robot?
Corey, move that camera over this way.
A video or picture or something just to show it in action.
Yeah,
would be
just,
really cool.
hold on. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just gives people an idea of what we actually had to get manipulated on
Yeah.
the field.
And I think there were 3 of the green totes per side, 4 of them in the middle, and there was about 50 gray totes per side. So it got very clear
there it
very
is.
fast.
And so
All
that's
right. Oh, there we are.
that robot right there backing up is actually that's ours, and it's
Is that
doing
your-
something that we haven't discussed yet. But there's actually a bonus points for cooperating with the other alliance. So we're on the blue alliance, and we called co-op points for the red alliance. And by stacking those yellow totes in the middle of the field, you get an extra 40 points is what it was.
So each team has 3, and to score the points, you need at least 4. The thing is, you're going to be competing against these people, but one of the most lucrative ways to score points is to take those containers and put them up in the middle, work together to score bonus 40 points.
You had to communicate with the other team, either beforehand or during the match
That was
somehow.
pretty much the make or break. We didn't think it was going to be terribly important, but the teams who did the cooperation were always up at the top, and those who didn't, even if it wasn't every match, anytime they missed a match, it would show in your rank.
Yeah. Really? Wow. So what was? So it looks like you guys focused mostly on the mechanics that were going to be necessary for scoring the most points. So there's nothing, if it was just mostly movement and arm strength or whatever you call that, that's really what you focus on.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of strategy and thought process that goes into a game. So much like any sort of football team or something would strategize what their best plays or best moves would be, the robotics team does something very similar in which we analyze the game at the game and they give it to us. And we look at all the ways there are to score points, any possible loopholes in the rules that we might be able to take advantage of.
How Belichickian.
Well, there was one.
A little bit more legal. But
There was one team that, and this is why I love coming back here, is because you get to see all the different teams. One team actually had found a loophole where you weren't supposed to have anything that detached, but they had cable, 2 wires that went from a station that they parked at the feeder station and then another robot, and because it was connected, it was legal. But while one part was pushing the totes up onto the platform, the other one was making that stack. So they were able to put up, I think, 5 stacks of 6.
They were doing 3 stacks of 6 at a match easily.
They were the top performers.
They're outclassing everybody else.
Yeah. So I mean, we look at the game and we look at how we look at what we're capable of as a team, and we look at how the game is played, and we figure out based on those how we want to make our robot and how we're gonna try and do our best during the game.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing and coolant delivery. I see.
Nice. Thank you.
Wow.
Their little names on it.
Coolant. Oh, isn't this cute? Thank you. Oh, this is Paul. Yeah, I was hoping I didn't look like that.
You can tell which
Rich,
one's
oh my
Michelle
God, I look like that. Oh, it's kind of like Einstein on acid, don't you? It's kind of like, relativity, man. Wow, that's awesome.
It's all relative.
It's all relative, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Now, do you guys scout like ahead of time before you make your robot, or go over previous robots that were made?
Yeah, so one of the things we do is whoever's not actually on the drive team, one of those 4 people.
No, like this is for the meeting. It's for the actual building the robot, not the
Right.
competition.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so we have a preseason. So we have a preseason, a season, and a postseason. And the preseason is when we have all our new members come on the team, and when we teach them all about what we've done in the past, how to actually build a robot, and we have them look at other teams and stuff like that. So yeah, that's.
Get a lot of interest.
I was just going to ask you, how big a group are we talking?
So we started the team out with 16.
I think as of
Something
right now
like
we're
that.
about 40, but we started the season with about 80.
Yeah, it was upwards of 70.
But as soon
or
as
so.
the tackling started, you lost about half of them.
Well, it's difficult
It took
to.
a few months before we actually got to that point, so people was kind of like, oh, we're not really doing anything. This isn't.
This is boring. I'm out of here.
Yeah, because we're
It
not we're not
takes
building
time.
a robot in the preseason, so we're still working on how to keep the new members involved and engaged that first season. Because once it gets to the build season, we're actually making a robot. It gets really interesting.
Right. So some people think robotics. They think I'm going to go in and I'm going to make Robbie the robot from Lost in Space, and it'll be awesome, and we'll attack people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once they find out it's not really like a video game,
Yeah.
that there's actually.
I mean, the
working
other thing, other very interesting thing about robotics is that there is so much more to it than the actual building of the robot. So there are the members of the team. So our team is split up into 3 groups. We have the build team, which is responsible for building the robot, and then we also have a competition team and a marketing division. So we spent upwards of 20 grand this year on the team, and that was like 15,000 to go to the competitions, another 5,000 to build the robot.
And what did you teach robots to go into banks and get money?
No. So
how did you get that money?
So our marketing division is responsible for going out to sponsors and asking for money.
That's a skill that
Yeah.
will never get old.
I don't have.
Yeah. Well, so we have a very talented group of people who write letters and are online, and they
phone
keep
calls
they keep up our online appearance too and do videos. One of the BCAT members, Nick, helps do a lot of the videos, and that sort of all falls under the marketing division.
Great, yeah.
And then our competition aspect of things is sort of like our presence at competition. So when we're our pit design, so people like to make their pits really fancy and have something to do with their team name, and our team spirit when we're at competition, all the rules and the strategy.
The cheerleaders.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also they're responsible for actually putting together the drive teams. And the way most people do it is they have their team and they have one drive team, and that's it. But we, as of last year, decided to have 2 different drive teams. So we would switch out every match and then kind of talk back and forth, say what worked, what didn't work, and then kind of be able to reflect, and then not only just be able to take some time off, but also to see our robot from a distance and get that outside perspective, which is huge.
Let me ask, now, are we keeping you guys for the second half? Are we exchanging you for new players?
I'm not quite sure
What are we
how many
doing?
people are coming on.
I think we're probably going to switch.
Yeah, probably going to switch.
We're gonna try
Dre,
and-
are you staying?
I think there is another mentor coming out too.
Another mentor, wow.
This is the build. I'm the CAD mentor. So
All
you
right,
might have
so we're going to say goodbye to Xavier Little, Joey Prendergast, and Jerry Polka III. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having
I'm
us.
sorry we have to cut the short.
Yes.
This is really incredibly interesting. And, you know, you guys have really managed to create kind of a status in school, you know, internationally. So you've done really well. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back in just a couple minutes. And then we'll be meeting 3 new contestants on The Price is Right. So thanks again, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
All right.
Hey! What is your problem, man?
You're welcome.
What the heck is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
Don't give me that! All right, what's going on here, fellas?
The missile was about to hit the school. I just acted as fast as I could.
That doesn't change the fact that I don't have a car anymore. Who just throws a person's car at a missile?
You're serious?
Yeah. Who's gonna pay for my car?
I guess I could.
Do you even have a real job?
Yes.
Do you have insurance?
I saw the whole thing. Call me.
Recycling a glass bottle saves enough energy to run the TV you're watching for 1 full hour. Recycle. It's the everyday way to save the world.
They say every picture tells a story. Last year, 31,000 stories were left unfinished because of HIV/AIDS, and 160,000 were cut short by breast cancer. But this is about DVT, deep vein thrombosis, and its potentially fatal complication, pulmonary embolism, that ended 300,000 stories last year. More than AIDS and breast cancer combined. DVT is a blood clot, usually found in the leg, that can break loose and travel to the lungs where it can be fatal. Some risk factors include obesity, recent surgery, restricted mobility, respiratory failure, and advanced age. There's one story I know by heart. It's about an NBC correspondent, a young husband and father named David Bloom, who died of DVT-related complications while covering the Iraq War. I'm Melanie Bloom, and I tell David's story so others will be able to write happier stories and reduce their risk. So please talk to your doctor about your risk of DVT and visit preventdvt.org.
This is the story about a group of kids who volunteered.
Do something nice for someone. We fixed stuff. Did some art projects with the kids. Cleaned up the park.
Did something for the planet.
And you know what? It was great.
At first, they didn't know each other.
Well, that didn't last long.
These are my
New friends.
Are you into it? Call 4-H or check out our website at areyouintoit.com.
Ah, I see. Well, welcome back, everyone. Wow. Well, oh my God.
It's like the bull crew.
Really, this was amazing. So welcome back to second half action here. By the way, this is live call-in. If you have any questions about anyone from the robotics team or about robotics at school, please call in. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Tonight only, 5:11. As you will notice, as soon as the camera spins around, we have 3 brand new people here who I'm going to introduce you to. Also from the robotics team. From my near right is Michelle Pothier, Amanda O'Donnell, and mentor Rick O'Donnell.
Hi.
Welcome to Sports Call.
Good, guys.
And I'm glad that we split this up by gender. It makes things so much easier, you know, because guys, you know how they...
Yeah.
So anyways, Amanda, why don't you start? What was your job in all this?
Well, I was part of mechanical this year, so I helped actually building the robot, cutting metal and stuff like that.
That means a welding thing and a
Safety glasses all the time.
Right, yeah, right.
You're not allowed in unless you have safety glasses on.
Okay. There's where a lightsaber would come in really handy, wouldn't it?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
And Amanda, what was your job?
I was actually co-president and head of the competition section.
Wow, okay. And mentor Rick?
I've just found a lot of different ways to be involved. I helped with developing scouting, the scouting app, and I helped with the programming team. I'm a software engineer, so I found ways to try to use that.
Great. Have you been a mentor for a while for this guys?
I think this was my 3rd year doing it.
Nice. And you guys, seniors or juniors, sophomore?
Senior.
Senior?
I'm a freshman, but my brother, who was on earlier, he's Jerry Pothier.
He is Jerry Pothier.
He was one of the founding...
Third.
Yes, he is.
There's 2 others before him.
Yes, my father
Do you
is
know
a
them
mentor.
too?
Yes, my father is a mentor. His name is also Gerard. My brother was one of the first founding members, and my dad would often take me along. So I've been around FIRST Robotics in this team for about 6 years now.
No kidding.
I'm
Excellent.
a freshman.
Now, typically you would think this is a male-dominated area, but that doesn't seem to be true.
Actually, I am wearing a headband from Girls of Steel. They're an all-girl robotics team in FIRST.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of all-girl robotics teams there. They're amazing people.
That's incredible. So young women have gotten much more interested in robotics and mechanics and things like that. Yeah, boy, am I behind the time.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah. Right, I just find it fascinating, though, so that's great.
We're actually doing really well in Burlington with regards to, our gender breakdown. We're
recruiting, yeah.
We're pretty close to 50-50, and it's not like we're doing a lot of extra recruiting now. I mean, they're just coming and
just everybody's interested. Yeah.
So right now you got about 40 kids in the program.
Pretty active 40. There's a lot of others that come and go and aren't quite as closely involved.
How do you keep them all involved, Rick?
How do we keep them all involved?
I mean, that's a lot of kids.
I think one of the keys to keeping them involved is to make sure there's enough for them to do. It's hard for a lot of kids to write the code that's involved, for instance, with the programming of the robot, because it's just not enough. There's not enough work to go around, and so we've thought of other ways that kids that are interested in writing code can be involved. So we have the website, and there's ways that they can get involved there if they're really interested in that kind of technology. Or we have the scouting application that we developed that is another way to write code. So I think just finding ways for kids to, if you're mechanically minded and there's not enough maybe to work on the robot, we try to build the field elements after the reveal, and we try to do, I'm just trying to think of other ways. We just try to think of ways, jobs to do, to try to keep everybody working and doing stuff.
Yeah, that's excellent. So you're getting a lot more interest? You feel like more and more kids are getting interested in coming onto the team? Or? I mean, as team members, do people come up to you at school and go, hey, you guys rock? Or
when we went to the World Championships, a lot of people came up to us and said, good luck, or great job at the World Championships. And the way we keep kids interested is we do Lego robotics in the elementary schools. I actually went there today and did it. I mentored some kids there. And
so kids really get into that, huh?
And then we have another Lego robotics program in the middle school, and by the time they get here, they can finally get their hands on the real robot parts.
Yeah, that is amazing, when we were growing up, robotics was at the front of the science fiction magazines you'd read about all the
Tinker
time.
Toys.
What's that?
The Tinker Toys.
And Tinker Toys, yes. All right, great. So when kids first come, so you're a freshman, you can be around for a while, so you're going to be able to see the evolution of the club or the organization, whatever you call it, actually. But over time, now, have the robots been getting more sophisticated?
Definitely.
So how does that happen?
Well, a lot of this club is trial and error, and since high school's 4 years, the seniors often get to pass their knowledge. Like, I learned a lot from Xavier, who was on the first half of this, because he was build leader, and a lot of people look up to him. And I guess after so many years building the robots, you get to absorb some of the things that the older people know. And they talked about it before, we won a quality award. This is the first year our robot has never broken down in the pits, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, these competitions robots smash into each other and they take a lot of beating, but that is a really impressive thing.
So the quality award is if it doesn't break down through the whole competition?
It's just a very well-engineered robot that is strong and can take the abuse it has to compete in the competition and still perform as it did when it came in. So I think that's something back when the club first started that we wouldn't imagine we would win, because it is an award, but coming this far, it's definitely an accomplishment. And back when we started, 40 kids there were 9 or 10 kids, and 2 of those were girls, actually, first when the club started. So the club has come a long way since the beginning.
We actually have someone on the line. We have a phone call. Hi, welcome to Sports Call.
Hey, I just have a few questions for the team.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Who is this?
This is Caleb.
Hello, Caleb. Welcome to Sports Call.
Thank you. All right, I just have a few questions for the team.
Go ahead.
I'm on a team myself, but I'd just like to know, how did you guys do this year?
We did fairly well. We went to World Championships, which was...
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was very big. In our division, which was, I think, 76 teams, we came in 59th, which was amazing, really. It was a very enjoyable learning experience.
When you think about from Little Burlington, Massachusetts, you see what you guys are able to accomplish? Incredible. Caleb, did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I got one more question. What was the main objective for your robot? To pick up the litter, the totes, or everything all together?
We stacked totes, mainly. We went to what was called a feeder station, where you could feed totes into the field, and we stacked totes from there. We also, you can improve upon your robot as the weeks go on. They give you time. We made it so we could pick up the barrels at the end, so our robot could do the totes, and towards the end of the competitions, we could also pick up barrels and put that on top of the totes.
Yeah.
What team are you on, Caleb?
What team am I on? I'm on Team 1058.
Oh, where's that from?
Oh, PVC Pirates.
No, it's 1050. What team did you say?
1058.
Oh, the PVC Pirates. We've competed with you. You're right.
Yeah. Did I meet you at the competition?
I bet you did. Is this Michelle?
Yes, this is.
Oh, now it's getting good. All right, now we're talking.
Very nice to hear from you again, Caleb. Glad to know you're watching.
Yeah, I just get Boston stations down here, so.
Neat.
Cool.
You get BCAT. Where are you calling from?
Where am I calling from? I'm calling from New Hampshire.
Wow, so BCAT goes up to New Hampshire, huh?
Right.
Go BCAT! All right, well, Caleb, I really appreciate your call. Thanks for calling in. And I hope you keep watching BCAT.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
All right. Oh, excellent. It's the first person in a long time who actually used his real name. Yeah, we got people, I am Princess Leia, and I need to ask a question. Yeah. So anyway, you notice the sophistication is getting more, what about now? We had a couple of seniors. What happens in college? Can you then bring these skills, this experience to a college level?
I haven't looked into at my college specifically if they have a robotics program, but FIRST does offer a large number of scholarships through this. So, while I might not be doing robotics there, it will definitely be good that I did robotics in high school once I'm there, because I got one of those scholarships. So.
Well, it would seem like this is something that would get carried on up to the college level. I mean, because this is the future. So I would think, I don't know what they do for scholarships. I know it's not an Olympic event or anything, but it's still, this is where, we're going. And I think, wasn't it the MIT labs that developed the dog, the robot dog?
That was Boston Dynamics.
Boston Dynamics?
Yeah.
Yeah, Boston Dynamics, yeah.
Yeah, that's a neat.
So that's amazing. I mean,
we actually have a mentor that comes sometimes that works at Boston Dynamics. And she's a great help.
Oh, great. So you guys get to actually talk to people who are on the cutting edge of that stuff. Oh, that's got to be amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. So now that you come back from international, now you guys are like superstars at school. People ask for your autograph, and geez, I'm sorry. Wait till my book comes out.
Talk to my agent.
Yeah, talk to my agent, yeah. Oh, I just realized we're past our 3/4 mark. We have to take our final break for right now for our final PSAs, but we're going to be coming back and we're going to be finishing talking with our second half of our robotics team. So stick with us. We will be right back.
Is there anything you want us to cover?
G-morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me back. Hey, did you tell your parents about us? Let's skip first period together. Did you get all my texts? Is practice over yet? Where are you at? Are you with your friends? That's L-A-A-A-A-M-M-E-E-E. Capital X, lowercase o, capital X, lowercase o. I love you. JK, I hate you. JK. Are you ignoring me? We're in a huge fight right now. Is this something I did? I can see your lights on. I'm coming over. What'd you dream about? Me? I'm lonely. Holla back. Holla back. Let's try something new. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Listen to Uncle Johannes. Eisenbrahms make you grow up smart and successful so you can be a doctor, lawyer, handsome, genius composer. Like me.
Feed your kids the arts. Visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
All right, Commissioner, hold on. I'll tell him.
Honey, it's Phil. The gold reserve is being attacked.
Tell him I'll be right there.
Don't forget to shut the window.
What? All right. What's the joke? What's so funny?
Absolutely.
Like,
Now we're talking. Oh, folks, I'm sorry, but while you were away, we made an incredible discovery here. What we didn't know, first of all, romance happens in the pits of these robot competitions. But that's not all. There's a robo-prom. Now, I don't know, we got to hear about the robo-prom. So what is the robo-prom?
So the World Championships happens on April vacation, and sometimes, well, April vacation's different. Our April vacation might not be in other schools. So
Right.
some seniors miss their proms to go to the World Championships. And they have robo-prom to make up for it. So you can buy tickets at the venue, and you get to dress up, and you get to go to a robo-prom instead of your prom. And
Dress up like in prom
Prom
stuff?
dress?
Not dress up as like a character from like
Some
Comic-Con.
people do both.
Yeah.
Both have been done.
Yeah, okay, that's good, I like it.
So you get to have fun with other teams, and it's not your prom, but it's a pretty cool prom.
Yeah, I bet, huh? So there's a lot of people go to this as well?
Yes, the tickets sold out.
Before we got to get them.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad, because now you can't report on any kind of hanky-panky or anything that's going on. So, so people actually have their prom dresses and tuxedos and everything, and yeah, that's amazing. Are any mentors at the robo-prom?
Yeah, they have some for chaperoning. So.
I'm sorry. I imagine adults have to be there someplace, don't they? I always hate to hear that, but anyways, yeah, that's very interesting. Any other kind of special things we don't know about that happen at these competitions?
There's a lot of dressing up as characters from TV shows. There's actually a first team called TARDIS, which is from the British TV show Doctor Who, which I thought was amazing, because that's one of my favorite shows.
I see. And so do you have a favorite Doctor Who?
The 11th Doctor is my favorite Doctor Who, but pop culture plays a really big part.
Yeah, I imagine there's a connection. People who get interested in robotics are probably interested in those same type of things that are in either culture, mass culture, through film or literature or comics or graphic novels, anything that also kind of include things more futuristic, I imagine, in their sense of culture.
Yeah, there was actually a Mythbuster, if you've ever seen the show Mythbusters. Grant Imahara, the one who builds all the robots for their show, he came, and you could get in a line to see him. So a lot of people who have had success in their careers, not just as mechanical engineers or robotic engineers, but on TV shows. They come. And Will.i.am, I know, he's a singer. He's a huge supporter of FIRST.
And playing at the World Championships, he gave a mini concert at the end of the...
This is a big deal.
It is.
It is
This is no small potatoes. This is a huge thing.
The amount of energy at the events was really what surprised me the first time I went. I was, you grew up on it, I know, Michelle, but to me, it was a real eye-opener the first time I went to an event. And they're free to the public to go to, and they're really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, I really didn't have the whole sense of the scope of all of this. This is really amazing. And now what are some of the favorite characters that people dress up as?
Well, there was one team, they're called the Rainbow Robot Unicorn Attack. I think they're just called the Robot Unicorn Attack now, but they had like plastic cones they put on their heads and little rainbow unicorn tails. It was very amusing. And each team has their own like little thing. There was a pink team where everybody wore pink. There were pink wigs. They were from Florida. it's amazing walking around the pits.
And what about any of our guys dress up in any costumes at all?
Since we're the DevilBotz, we kind of don't really have a mascot. We feel comfortable
there's always the
parading
devil.
too much. Well, yeah, but
I don't know if you want to be a big fan in St. Louis of the devil, but you know.
We wore flame skirts, I
usually
know.
Flame.
Okay, flame, devil, no.
We put red LEDs. You have to be careful because people do get offended. But there are other teams, they call themselves the Blue Devils or the Tasmanian Devils to avoid, people who come at and ask you if you worship Satan. That was a very awkward conversation I had to have one time.
Where were you?
I was at one competition.
Florida, Mississippi?
No. It was Boston. Someone came up and asked me. But we say we support Burlington High School, and that's what we say because that's our mascot. So we're just as much a sports team as any other one.
Right.
We're proud to do it. So.
Well, you guys are, and I know you were explaining to us before, Rick, about you do have strategy sessions, you do have a game plan, you write up certain plays or anything. There's a sense of, So what is this? This is
That's
the strategy board. Can we get a shot of the strategy board by any chance? It's around the loop, I mean. Okay, or maybe not. Maybe we can get an artsy shot to the loop.
You can imagine a...
All right, pretend we're having
Here we go.
Okay, there we go. So that's our strategy loop board.
There we go.
All right. And so different plays are written out on the strategy board just like any other play for any other sport. You actually want to make it easier for them.
That was the field this year. So
that's what the field looked like?
Half the field, yeah.
All right. And it was like the size of half of a basketball court, would you say?
Roughly.
Yeah, roughly. So
Yeah.
I was the coach for the drive team. They called it the alliance captain earlier. The terms are sort of interchangeable. But I would bring this with me, and I would talk to the coach from each of the other teams, and we would decide which robot was going to start where on the field during autonomous, and then which robot was going to do what during the match. So it was sort of I guess like a real sport when people bring out the drawing of the basketball court and says this player's going to do this player's going to do that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that.
The X's and O's sort of thing you can picture. But
and how many robots do you bring down with you?
Oh, so we bring one, but whenever you play a match, you're paired with two other teams who also brought their robot, and you work together as an alliance to play the game.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Now, you guys drove down there?
Yeah.
Drove to St. Louis, yeah.
How long did it take you?
24 hours because we had to stop. Well, their family drove out separately, but we had two 15-passenger vans, and we piled everybody and their luggage into the vans. And
there's a story here, isn't there?
Well, you spend 24 hours in a vehicle.
There's a story here.
We were trying to raise. It was so fast we couldn't raise enough money to get a motor coach or anything like that. But it was, all things considered, it was okay as a trip. In a 15-passenger, it was okay as a trip. That we stopped. There was a lot of corn, because you're going past the flat line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any tornadoes?
No, but there was a warning as we were going out, which was different.
That's not bad. At least you got through a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a guy that chases hurricanes.
Oh, I chase tornadoes.
That's really cool.
Thank you. But I didn't do anything to cause or create that. But that's the Midwest, and you were out there at when was this? This is April?
This is April vacation, yes.
April vacation. So, yeah, the storm season isn't so great in the Midwest at that point. But there's tornado warnings, not bad. I mean, I'm sorry, we're talking about robotics.
Not bad. It's all relative.
Yes, that's true. That is.
ATM.
Oh, we have a call?
I'm very confused.
No. All right. Well, never mind. Try not to pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. All right. It's very confusing around here. So, anyway, so you guys 2:15, and you guys went out by yourselves?
Our family drove out.
I was visiting colleges the 2 days before, so we were already almost halfway to St. Louis. So we just decided we would drive as a family.
I see.
Because my little brother's in it too. So.
Oh, all right. So you weren't going to take your chances.
We were already in Rochester. It turns out we would have been better off because we broke down on the way home, but it's a different story altogether.
Where are all those
Next day in
mechanical people?
Ohio,
Yeah.
they were already past us. So.
Yeah.
So what school did you finally settle on?
University of Rochester.
Very good.
Yeah, that's a good school.
They gave me the first scholarship, so I'm very thankful.
Nice. All right. When they give you money, they must like you.
Yeah.
All right. So that's good. So, but Michelle, we're going to have you for a number more years.
Yeah.
How come you have this like deer in the headlights look to you?
Oh, is that how I look? No.
You're afraid I'm going to ask you more about the 24-hour road trip? Or?
Oh, no.
They were on it with her.
No.
And Caleb wasn't on that trip, though, right?
No, he's on the PVC Pirates. They're from Londonderry. They're a very good team.
Yeah. All right. So when exactly? So you and your boyfriend's on the team.
Yes, he is.
Okay, and he was in the pit.
Okay, we're not talking about. I'm sorry. We're not.
Okay.
I'm very sorry.
All right.
This is
I'm
robotics
sorry.
show. Robotics
Okay.
show. I'm sorry.
Well, Caleb got me all excited.
Sports show.
All right. So listen, so you guys, so what do you do now? You take a break, you relax for the summer, and you come back and...
Nope.
No? So what's next then?
Well, we do the 4th of July parade.
Oh, that's right. You do the parade, yeah.
I see you every year at the parade.
At
I
the
remember
parade,
that.
yeah.
We do
Sorry.
No, it's nice talking to you. We do celebrate Burlington. We go to Flatbread, and we try and get out in the community as much as we can.
Do you do fundraising like throughout the year too? So if people want to contribute to you guys, how can they do that?
Individuals, that's a good question. We haven't actually had a lot of individual contributions that I'm aware of, although I could be wrong. I'm apologize to any.
Well, let's say somebody's sitting in the audience now and they think you guys are really awesome. They say, geez, I'd like to send you $50 or whatever it is. How would they do that?
Well, we're actually in the process of setting up a way to do that. And that'll be, when we have more information on that, it'll be on our website, bhsrobotics.com.
bhsrobotics.com.
With an X. It's probably on there.
Or you could email that
Yes.
email.
That's the email address.
Okay.
That works too.
All right, so the thing is, if people are interested, on the town website or your website or BCAT, through BCAT, people can find a way of contributing to you guys.
Yes.
Which would be a nice way to keep the fundraising going all year long because you need a lot of money to go to these competitions and whatever material and stuff costs as well.
Now that you got a taste of it too.
Yeah.
Now we're going, next year, what, Germany?
We have, right.
All right, but listen, you guys did a great job. It's a real pleasure having you on. We're going to have to get going now, but Michelle, Amanda, Rick, I want to thank you guys for being here. Congratulations. It's a real pleasure to have you guys here. I think you did an awesome job. And Paul, you and I are finally back on the air.
Back after a month or so.
Yeah, so I hope they keep us going. But again, people, if you're interested in robotics, you got a number of websites to check in on. But otherwise, we are going to say goodnight. Thanks for being here. Thanks to the robotics team. Good night, everybody. Hopefully you see you in a couple weeks.
Thanks to our sponsors.